بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم ألهمنا مراشد أمورنا وأعذنا من شرور أنفسنا أما بعد فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين وقال الله تبارك وتعالى قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد لكم دينكم ولي دين صدق الله العظيم. The first was the first surah of the Quran Kareem. Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun, we all know it right at the ending. In Surah Al-Fatiha, another name of Surah Al-Fatiha is the Dua. The Dua means that if you were given a chance to make one call, one Dua, and now you never know what is that Dua going to be. Many years ago, Hazrat Moulana Abdul Hamid Sahib Damat Barakatuh, he gave this example. He said, imagine if Almighty Allah had to say to me and you got one shot, one Dua. Whatever you're going to ask for now, you're going to get it. He said, it's the kindness of Allah that in Surah Al-Fatiha, Almighty Allah Himself gave us the dua. He said, because our mind is so dunya orientated, that we only want the world. He said, even in that one dua, one person might hit it and say Ferrari. One person might say smart house. One person might say beautiful wife. He says that one couple, they were sitting. There's a story, you get normally, they say you find a lamp, and there's a jinn in the lamp, genie. And then if you rub the lamp, then the jinn comes out. Now because he comes out, now you say, you freed me, so I'll give you 3 wishes. So normally we all want like that. It must come. So they were sitting now, and this person found something. So when it came out, and he was so shocked when he heard 3 wishes. So what first thing his mind went to, like, what do I need? And he remembered that last night his wife told him, make sure you get something for breakfast. So he said, what about a polony? And one, or the opposite. He told his wife, I hit this jinn. And this jinn said to me 3 wishes. So she said that we got nothing for breakfast. What about a polony? And there one polony came on the jinn. Now he is looking at that polony on his plate, and he's trying to tell her, you wasted my one wish for a polony. So he becomes so angry, he said, I wish this polony gets stuck on your nose. And he said, when they came to their senses now, it was a man looking at a wife with a polony. So he only had one wish left. Last wish was, can the polony please come back on the plate? He said, how will they ever even eat that polony? They wasted their whole life. Sometimes when me and you think of dua, we sometimes do ask for such trivial things, whereas there's an entire universe waiting for us. But because we only saw a small picture, Almighty Allah in His kindness, He said, I'll give you the dua. This dua was ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. That, oh Allah, will you show me one? Allah, will you take me? The Arabic language has grabbed meaning so unique that in English you can't give it. In English, if you have to translate, you'll have to give one translation. Guide me. But guide me will mean, like example, you tell someone, I need to go to the masjid, how's it? Where it goes? So he said, okay, take a turn there, take a turn, you'll see this. That's one guide.
Sometimes you'll find it, sometimes you won't find it. Another meaning of guidance is that I'm such a bad driver, even if that phone is telling me turn here, turn there, I'm still not going to make it. Why don't you jump in my seat and you take me with? When we use that word, ihdina sirat al-mustaqim, where one meaning is, Allah, will you show us the path? The meaning that we all hit is isal ila al-matlub. Allah, will you make us reach the path? That whether we want to or we don't, whether we're the child who's running across the street and the mother grabs and pulls him out of the harm. Because many of us sometimes we say, I don't know how I landed up here. One place I reached, I gave a lecture. Allah made it that day, whatever I was going to speak, I went very far off the topic. And I spoke about black magic. For whatever reason. So after the bayan, the lecture, my one friend who was like following all, he even said to me like today, like there's no sequence where you went. So I said, I also don't know like why I said it, but never mind, someone will benefit. So after we made salam with everyone, I'm walking out of the masjid, I met one person. So he came, he said, can I have 5 minutes? I was walking to the house, so he walked with me. He said like, it's a very amazing lecture you gave today, because I've been going through some problems in my life. And then today I decided to bring an end to it all. So this was my final like. So he said, I got onto one bus which was supposed to take me to one bridge. And very late I realized I'm on the wrong bus. So I said, at the next stop I'll jump off and I'll find another bus now going. When I jumped off there, that bus stopped by the masjid. There they have it, the stop seat is, the masjid was there. So he said, I looked at the masjid and I said that, I am going today, rather read my last salah and then go. So he said, I came inside and I saw everyone sitting after the salah. So I'm wondering what they're sitting for, and then you sat on the mimbar and you spoke. And I'm saying even that, hey, this person here is making my appointment late. Because he got an appointment with death. So he said, as you're speaking at the beginning, I'm looking at my watch like. And then he said, when you spoke about this black magic, that's what I'm going through. That something happened in his life and he couldn't relate, whatever, I couldn't understand really how it related to him. So then I asked him like, now after now, where are you going now? Are you still going to get? So alhamdulillah, I met him years later also. Years later I met him. So Isal ilal matlub, the man going on one bus also. If Allah wants you that you're not going to die today, He'll bring you on the other bus also. Isal ilal matlub. That will you take me to that destination I need to go? Even if I'm not too thrilled about it. Ihdina sirat al-mustaqim. Everyone can make this dua. And think about it in the day, how many times you make it. I make it. Sometimes what we're only missing one thing, we don't make it with feeling. So in a day, if you're making it count in your Fajr Salah, okay, you're tired, so 2 times you hit it in the Sunnah. Then the Imam said it 2 times in the Farz, we were sleeping. We said Ameen, but that Ameen was also like. Then okay, Zohar time, we were more awake. 4 times in the Sunnah. 4 times in the Farz, the Imam would be reading it. 2 times in the Sunnah. Then in the Asr, minimum 4 times. In the Maghrib, there'll be 3, there'll be 2. We'll be saying this Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim dua so many times in the day. Will it be hard for me and you to say at least once in that entire 30, 35 times? One time I say it with a little feeling. That Allah, will you pull me on this path? Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim. Why we will have to say it with feeling is that man who's climbing with his friend a mountain. And as long as you don't see anyone falling down the mountain, you don't get scared. But let one person slip. Let one person slip. After that you see everyone start making dua. Everyone. I remember the first time when my father let me drive. One thing I noticed is whenever I would sit in the seat, my mother would start reading Lord Duas. Lord Duas. the day you're going to see someone slip, I want you to think about in the world, what percentage are those who are not on Iman? Me and you are seeing them slip by the day. Then every day we're getting the news of a Muslim who became murtad. We're seeing that one slip. Sometimes we're getting the news of he was of such a good family, and now his entire body got tattoos. Now he's kicked out of the family. Now he's talking satanic things. We're seeing that one slip. Every day we're seeing on this mountain someone who was so close to the peak. And one thing happened. And when he fell, there was one place I went to in Zambia. My friend stopped on that road. On the side there's no barriers. So he stopped on the road there, and now he's telling me look down. So for me it wasn't the best look, because you're looking deep, deep, deep. But as it goes this way, then it turns in a little. So you can't even see at the bottom. So he says so many times one car goes off this road. So many times. And we saw on that road so many trucks overturned also. But in this one place, this ditch, he said so many times the car goes off. And there are people, the villagers, they see it. So when they see it going off, now they all run, and now they look, you can't see anything, then they call for help. And with great effort now they're going to go, they know the man is dead already. But they're still going to go down. He said, but when they come down, they don't find the one car only that they went. They find lot cars. And in so many of the cars, in that front seat, the skeleton is there still holding that steering. Meaning he died long time ago. When you look at that, you understand what fear there is when you're looking. When me and you are looking at this world, sometimes think that we are also on that cliff. And around us, every day someone is being pushed. Yesterday his name was also Ahmed. Somewhere he slipped. Either his eye fell on a girl and that made him slip. His eye fell on wealth, that made him slip. One drug came to him, that made him slip. The slips are so many because the road is so hard. It's just one stone, one stone. On one journey I made, I was with my son, I told my friend, take us to some place before the bayan, that we can just he was young at that time, many years ago, so he can enjoy himself. So he said there's one place called Devil's Peak. What a name also, Devil's Peak. He said when we were young, we used to climb it but that name supposed to make him think, don't take the Moulana to Devil's Peak. So we went there, now he told me we used to climb it. He never told me to climb it, you need climbing shoes. So with my slippers or champal, I was not going to manage that climb. But I don't know why we decided to take it. And we climbed for a while. And only when I was at a height did I realize I never do the most intelligent thing in the world. And then the one slip came. My son slipped, and I tried to hold him, and I went. Bang, 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 bang. Allah's fadl, when I reached the bottom, it was more embarrassment than pain also. And I had a lot to hear from my wife also. But the worst part was now, I go home, so I don't want to tell that friend that, I got hurt. But I needed Zambia. So as soon as I phoned, I said, you got any, as soon as I said Zambia, his mother gave him a shouting. And that bayan was a very painful bayan I gave that night. Everywhere was paining. If I could not make it that small Devil's Peak, because one rock and the wrong shoe, how do you think me and you are going to make it where we need to go? Where on every step there's a devil pushing. On every turn there is someone pushing. When we say entertainment, when we say the nights are now those big days, when the devil has taken out this from 25th December to about the 1st or 5th of January, it's not only in South Africa or in the world now. This was a period where in the past, even before Christianity was known to the world, At that time also there was these days that were given to the devil, that so many are going to be sacrificed. We will create an environment of evil across the board. During that environment, those that are evil, they will dance to the song. We're not worried about them. During these days, those that still never slept, our eye will be to make them sleep. You ever heard about those mythic parties? And you wonder why they have to have it. Have it in the classroom. When they have that party that everyone will land up in Durban, and you will just dance and dance and dance the whole night. That even if there was COVID, the person said, forget COVID, I'm going for that party. And you land up at that party, you wonder why they spend so much. Was it just to make the Muslim and the non-Muslim happy? If they wanted to make a Muslim happy, they could have put 5,000 in his account. It had nothing to do with happiness. It had to do up till now you reached clean. Before you enter university, I'll make sure you become dirty. Up till now, no one touched your chastity. If happily you never gave it, I'll put you in a room where some smoke will hit you, and you will not realize the boy you trusted the most, that night he took away your trust. That girl next day wakes up. She realizes that something is not right. She knows that how she went in dress, she never come out like that. But she's too shy to say it also. And the boy who she trusted, he will never say to her, I was the biggest evil in your life. That party was made that you never slept, we'll pull you down now. Now you understand, ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. That, oh Allah, as I'm climbing, let me not fall. There's one place we went, it is called, I forgot the name now, what you do, you climb on the mountain. But not the climbing I did proper, like high, and you have that clips. So that iron clips onto the place, so even if you fall, then you held on with that. I forgot what the name was. When you see yourself there, like you wonder why I came here also. But you're there and you're moving. But as long as you're putting that clip, you're okay. So before we went for it, we went for training. Like a 2-day, 1-day training to make sure you don't die. In the training place, the thing is made such that if you have 2 clips. So if you open the one, the other one can't open. You can only open that one when this one closes. So it's like you definitely stuck to something. Impossible for you mistakenly to open both. So that's how we learnt it. But when we went for the real, there that thing wasn't like that. You could open both. So the person had to tell you, just make sure you don't open both. Always remember, if one is open, the other must be closed. Don't ever open that. And we made the whole thing nicely until we came to one place where they said, now like, the hard part is finished. And while we were standing there, one of us, it wasn't me, but one of us, his boat was open. Because we were at a place now where you pass the difficult part. So for some reason, where all of us had one still connected, he never had that connected. And he took one step front. Allah made it the other friend, his eye went. And this boy actually went for a slip. And that boy just held him. He held him, that person just held. And first thing he realized, I'm not connected. And he connected, not one of us spoke. The next day when we in the car, one person said, that was close. Everyone said, that was close. It was a 1 second. 1 second. From where he would have gone. Now I want me and you to think about we climbing. And we got nothing connected. So Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I will leave you with 2 things. as long as you holding on to it, you will never fall. He said, I'll leave you with my Quran and my Sunnah. He said, as long as you keeping it, you connected. The day we leave this, but me and you do know, there are times when Quran never opened for days. And me and you do know there are times when our relation with the Sunnah is like forgotten. So at that time, me and you are that boy who's standing with no connection. Nothing. And then we see something calling us. Like how he looked. He just wanted to look what we were looking at, because we were all looking at the water below. But we couldn't fall. So one message comes on the phone. One message on that WhatsApp, Facebook, one follow. That's that one, let me just look. One club, one night. One night. We met those children whose parents said, I looked after my child so much that even when I went to the masjid, my eye would be on him even in the masjid till he entered the car. I looked after him so well. And he managed to find that one day and he went off. Now you want the one. But as I told you, that whole trip we made, you just needed one time where you lost connection. At that time, had that one person not grabbed him. So when we say, Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim, it means this, Allah, let me never leave you. Even if I have left my connection, even if Quran is not in front, even if I have forgotten many of the Sunnah, when I have disconnected, Allah, in your kindness will you grab. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim, and pull back. Please, once in that whole day of saying it, say it with feeling. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim, let me not fall. Because if I go, it will go screaming. It will be bang after bang after bang. There are those who are still alive, but they are like, they wishing they dead and everyone around them is wishing they dead. Islam is such a religion, such a gift Allah gave us, that we're living and walking on such a path. Our path is so blessed that death on this path is called martyrdom. Death on this path is called you made it. The Sahabi was stabbed. He said, Fustu, I successful, I won. The one who stabbed him is wondering, what does he mean he won? Later on he would ask people, they said, this is what he went looking for, death on the path. We're walking on a path where death itself is unique. And life is enjoyable. Our path is so unique. If we live Mubarak to life, and if death comes on this path, then we said, Allah, I lived to die on this path. وَلَسْتُ أُبَالِي حِينَ أُقْتَلُ مُسْلِمًا. Now that I know I'm dying as a Muslim, I don't worry whether you shooting me or you shooting me. Those who lived smiling. Those who passed away went smiling. And if you're not on this path, those who died went crying, and those who are alive are still crying. In the recent days we saw Afghanistan. Ask those American soldiers whose lives were taken. They are burning and screaming in the fire. And when they cannot manage it, the angel says to them, if you think this is Lot, worse is still coming. Then ask those who are alive. They're living with tablets. They're committing suicide in their countries. They're fighting with their families. Every night they're having dreams and they're getting scared. They're neither alive nor dead. Then ask those who passed away. In one village they gathered 150. Some of them were those who fought. Some of them were those they just picked up. 150 they put in one room. And they left them for so many days until every one of them passed away because of starvation. And they thought that we showed the world something. 150 passed away, each would have passed away with a smile on his face. Because before he died, the angel would bring food to him and say, after today, no more hunger. And those who lived, they are smiling. Those who lived, they're smiling with their stories, waqiyat, incidents. They got such incidents that make a person laugh. Like, while they're driving, they'll tell you, here, the other day, that time, I was the one driving and that bomb fell. He'll tell you that, me and you will like shake, I'll never drive on this road. They like, the bomb fell here. That bomb fell here. For them it's like, one friend, he said that they met certain of them. They said they were those who made an attack against the enemy. And then the American aeroplane started bombing. They bombed that area so badly. When they bombed, they're not bothered who they're bombing. He said before the bombing started, it was green, that area. Green. So the people of the village saw the bombing. And they knew after the bombing is finished, you will have to go, whatever bodies are there, you have to bring it back home. Said so much bombing took place, the green became black. There was nothing left standing in that area. Person says, but when we came there was one hut. One hut. So they heard someone like snoring in the hut, so they took out their weapons also. Like maybe it's the enemy. They entered and they saw these few people fast asleep and one was snoring. So when they woke him up, the person woke up and said, is it namaz time? So the person said, like, when you slept, you never heard the bombing. He said, what bombing? He said, come out. He came out, he said, it was green when we entered. Green when we entered, black. They laughing today. Me and you, if it had to be, we'll never go in that hut again. For them, they living smiling, they die smiling. What a path we got. That life is enjoyable, death is enjoyable. What a path they got. Hazrat Moulana Abdul Hamid Sahib Damat Barakatuh said, when that man went and he stood at where the train was moving, the train, then he looked at what was called first class. And he said, how nice to be in first class. How nice. And then as the train carried on, he saw the last class. And he saw one man standing there. And that man was like with bags. And there's nothing, you're just holding on. You can see insects around. And he said, how miserable it's to be like with no money in this world. So he says, if only he had a friend. If only he had a friend who will say to him, don't ever judge the world from the platform. You'll need to get into the train to understand what happens beyond the walls is not the true picture. That high walls of some houses will tell you that everything is okay on the other side. When you go through those walls, you find that every problem is on the other side. They don't need someone to scale their wall to kill them. There the husband is trying to kill the wife or the wife is trying to kill the husband. They don't need someone. He says, if you have a friend, he said that friend would have been Quran or Sunnah. He said, Allah himself with Quran would have said, let me take you in the train. He said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would have taken your hand and said, let me take you in the train. He said, in the train they would take you to the first class, and where you were expected to see someone laughing, smiling, jumping, dancing, you would find one man sitting and he's not talking. You would be looking at food but he's not eating. You would have a lovely bed but he's not sleeping. Then you'll have to shake him a little bit, he'll look at you stunned. You'll have to say, when you're surrounded by the items of happiness, why can't you be happy? At least a smile. He will not answer himself, he can't talk. He says the other person will have to answer on his behalf. That actually this person has been found guilty of murder, state treason, a major crime, whatever it is. They captured him. This is his last journey. When we will reach the station, those officers will take him. Tomorrow or the next day is execution. He said, this is perhaps his last meal or second last meal. And then they will say one sentence. He says, with the turning of every wheel, when this person is coming closer to his destruction, how can he smile? How can he smile? They might say New Year's Eve, and they'll shoot that cracker. But if you ask that man, what are you really happy about? The poet said, يَسُرُّ الْمَرْءَ ذَهَابُ اللَّيَالِ يَسُرُّ الْمَرْءَ ذَهَابُ اللَّيَالِ. The man is so happy that the nights have passed. وَكَانَ ذَهَابُهُنَّ لَهُ ذَهَابًا. But he must know that as the nights are passing, his life is passing. That you smiling so much tonight, it means you got 1 year closer to your destruction. You're not supposed to be smiling. If anyone's supposed to be happy, it's the one that you'll go to the last class. He got couple of bags. He's standing, he's holding on. There's insects around him, he's hitting the insect. He's hitting the mosquito, he's hitting the fly. After a while he becomes so tired, he says to the flies, okay, do what you want now. Do what you want. Bite. When we visited those areas which we call like jungles of Africa, then one thing you'll notice is we come with our, what you call, peaceful sleep. And no matter how much peaceful sleep you'll spray, that mosquito will still find that spot. But the other person, he puts on no spray. And the mosquito don't bite him. Don't bite him. It's like he already told the mosquito, I'm open game for you. Mosquito says, no, I like where it's... I have to go find the way. This man gave up with the mosquito. Bite how much you want. So you ask him, how can you smile? That's how me and you think. Without wealth, without that smart car, without that wonderful life, without a holiday every now and then, will life ever be life? And you ask the man, how can you smile when you got nothing around you that makes you smile? He'd say, my happiness is inside. He says, I was sent by my father. And he said to me, oh my son, there's a few years I need you to work. During that time, I cannot treat you like a prince. I cannot give you whatever you want. I cannot feed you when you want to be fed. I cannot allow you to sleep when you want to sleep. You will have to really toil. But I can tell you one thing, it's only for a few years. I need you to plant now because the time is fertile. This is the time to invest. So I'm going to send you over to a place where the thing is very fertile. You will do a lot of business in a very short time. Lot of business, very short time. And every now and then I'll write a letter to you. And in that letter I will inform you that whatever you're sending home, your father and your mother is not using it up. We are building for you. We are building for you. I know you want to get married. I know you want to have one wife. I know you might want to have many. I know you want to have a lot of enjoyment. Don't worry, your mother already got the girl for you. She got 1, she got 2, she got 3, she got 4. Normally in this world you'll have to stop there. You say your mother got a whole lineup. And each one will smile when you meet the other. Every time that letter comes is to tell the boy, your father is not greedy for your wealth. Your father doesn't need your wealth. Your father just wants you to enjoy such a life after this that you will never ever be sad. But oh my son, to give you that life, I need you to work little. He says, I worked, and my father's letter came, and I sent. I hardly spent, until a time came when that letter of my father came, where he said, oh my son, well done, come home. Come home. He said, the little I had left, I quickly bought my tickets, and I bought a lot of gifts for my family. My mother, my father, my sister, everyone is there. He said, what's in the bags is going to be opened. He said, at the station they're going to meet me. I'm going to have a shower tomorrow. After that shower, you will never see perspiration on me. After the bags are open, you will never see a tear in my face. After I join with my family tomorrow, I'll never be separated. He said, how can I not be happy? Because as the train is going closer, every day that's passing, I am coming closer to a world that I always dreamed about. He said, who is that man? That man is supposed to be me and you. When Allah Ta'ala sent us, He said, oh my prince, the king would love for you to be the prince in this world, but then you will not be able to be the prince in the year after. You rather work today and build your castles. And Allah is not like a father who still needs a little. Almighty Allah says, I am most independent. I'm only building for you. The land is fertile, but you will have to sacrifice a little. Every now and then the loving Allah will send a letter that is called Quran. There will be a bayan, there will be a lecture. There will be a lecture at a time when everyone has forgotten. So the father says, when everyone will be parting, it must not happen, my son forgets what he has to do, write the letter quickly. So suddenly there will be another program. A program at a time when no one will think of programs. No one. That will be Allah's letter to His beloved prince. That remember the king is building. When everyone has become negligent, they have become negligent because they got no kingdom they are coming to. You don't forget your kingdom. What a world we got, what a path. Life on this path is enjoyable. Because whenever I send, I know it's getting built. And when the time of death comes, it's even more enjoyable. When the letter comes, come home. After we make the dua, Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim, thereafter we add, Ghayril maghdubi alayhim wal-dhalin. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim means, Allah, let me never ever walk on the path on which I find those who you angry with, or those who are confused and they don't know where they're going. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam gave an explanation, but it wasn't only, but they were the biggest that we're going to find. Those who got the anger of Allah is what we call today the Jew. But leave the Jew one side, and they're busy in their own world of evil. Their lobbies and their... You will hardly find a Jewish cricket team, a Jewish soccer team. The reason is, they got another mission in life. They are the real agents of the devil. They haven't got a day to spend where they can really enjoy. They live in a fear of death. Their living is qiyamah. And if death has to come to them, that Jahannam starts after that. They got absolutely no enjoyment. There's those amongst them who are Jew. They are called Ashkenazi. Some of them are called like the European. That they don't even believe in Musa alayhi salam. They are Satanists in and out. They give their life to the devil. And every few years when the devil becomes tired of them, he's the same one who slits their throat. One is told, you kill this one. Working for the devil, each one knows. I can't mention to even my wife that I have been employed by this group, Freemason, Illuminati. He's so scared because his wife could be also one of them. So if she's one of them, she'll spy him out that he spoke. And she's scared that what if my husband is one? The child is scared, what if my father is? When they enter this path, they live in fear. And every time someone gets killed who's on that path, and every now and then someone does get killed. Someone's assassinated. Someone's throat is slit. Jack the Ripper. 2 women never do what they're supposed to do. 3 women, he slit them. He put marks on their body. The pictures were taken by the newspaper. For many of the people of London, it was, hey, there's a man killing prostitutes. For the people who were walking this path, it was a message from the devil, that if you behave like this girl, who we warned her not to talk, then we will find someone to track you down and will cut you into pieces. How that man lives, knowing that every day whoever gave his life for the devil in the ending cut him. They said he committed suicide. This man knows no, he was killed. They said he jumped from the bridge. This man knows he was pushed. He sees the sign there. Every sign is to say to him, you don't play the game, you also gone. You think he got happiness. But a man on this path, he understands, if I'm obedient to Allah, wow. But even if I make errors, I just have to say, Allah, I'm sorry. And Allah will say, I give you another chance. The devil ever gave a chance. Throats are slit on this. And by Almighty Allah, even blood is life. Then you get that Jew, that they are like staunch on the path of Musa alayhi salam. So they really think that we are on the truth. They're greedy, their nature is greedy. In London, there's certain towns which are them, like, they got that town, they wear black. If you look at their life, like, their laws are so hard, meat and milk can't mix. So meat and milk can't mix. I think it's meat and milk. So their kitchens are two. They have to have two kitchens. Because in the one kitchen is all those pots that deal with the one thing. They can't mix the two. When I went to one country recently, I saw it is two kitchens in the houses of Muslims. So for me, it's like, where you all took this from? They took it from the Jew. But the Jew had two kitchens because they needed separate pots for the one. They can't mix. So I asked the person, like, what the Muslim got two kitchens for? He said the one kitchen is the one that gets dirty. That's in the back, and the things there are cheap stuff, like, because the worker does most of the cooking. The second kitchen is to show the visitors. He said that's the expensive kitchen. Nothing is touched. Nothing. It says when you walk in a house, must have a kitchen. Auntie will never touch that kitchen, because how can you dirty my kitchen? But the Jew, they have two. What a life. One day the son mistakenly mixes this with that, the whole thing is contaminated. The Jewish woman got a law. You cannot walk out with your hair uncovered. Have you ever seen a Jewish woman wearing a scarf? But her law is you can't walk out with your hair uncovered. So my one friend, they stayed for a while in that area, so they learned a lot of the Jews. So he asked me, did you ever see them? They're so staunch, but they never wear a scarf. How come? So the only way is either you wear a scarf, but then the other people will laugh at you. Or you cut bless. All of them are wearing wigs. All of them cut bless, put on a wig, and now they said we don't need a scarf now. Because hair can't be out. He said you only realize it when they come out of their period, their bloods. Their law is they can't take their bath in their house, because they're dirty. So they have to go to that public bath. So that bath now is there, and the woman will go inside. So when the women are going for the bath, that's where every auntie, she has to take out her wig. There you will see Uncle's Prati is a bleskop. All are bleskops. They the staunch one. What a path they walking on. They live in fear of death. That word, they have a thought that if someone says death, it means you'll die. They live like that. What a path. We say, Allah, I thank you. You never put me on that. You never made me the worshipper of the devil, every day scared. You never make me this. They are maghdoob alayhim. Allah's anger is on them. Even if they got the world around them, they sleep under the curse of Allah. They wake up in the curse of Allah. Their life is Jahannam. We don't want to talk of their death. Then we come to what is known as Nasara, Christian. And that is why this whole, they the ones we see in front. They partying, they going wild, they dancing, but they don't know why. They are called Waladhalin. And Allah, they are those who are so lost, they don't even know they lost. Let me please not walk on their path. The one who's lost, in the past before we had this Garmin and phones, there was a law when you get lost, just start driving fast. Because if you drive fast, inshallah, quickly you'll come out somewhere. You don't want to be lost too long. So they just go fast. They don't know where they're going. Why do they wait for every weekend? Because another week can pass. That's all. The one friend who accepted Islam from Germany, years ago when he came to the madrasa, they asked him, speak to the students, that what is that German life? Rich life, wonderful life. So I remember the few things he said, what life? He said, why do you think we call it Blue Monday? He said, let me tell you how it starts. He says, we live for Friday. We live for Friday. Whatever we have earned during the week, there's no enjoyment in it. So we just plan with our friends which club on Friday. Every week there'll be a new club. Because there's nothing to live for. 4 days are Jahannam. Friday is Jahannam, but on Friday you start getting happy. Hey, Friday night we'll at least just party it out. He says we party, it has to be a new club every time because we're tired with the old club. He said in every club, one will meet somebody else. You'll either meet a girl and then you will not know who you spend the night with. In the morning you'll wake up, you drunk, you dirty, there's dirt on your body. He said when you walk in that shower, you just filthy. But you know I got one more night, Saturday night. So you just sleep it out. By 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, now you wake up. Now you phone your friend, where are we going? It's one more club. He says Sunday is like the worst day of our life. Because we know Monday is tomorrow. Sunday we just sleep. And Monday when everyone walks in the business, everyone is like, I want to just kill you. Because Friday is still too far away. He said, we live like this. He says, I walked through those forests where it was known that people who walk in this forest will get robbed. He said, I used to walk through this forest so someone will attack me. They'll just stab me and I'll die. He said, but I would walk through. While he said that, I was thinking that long time ago you should come South Africa. I'll tell you, walk there, one of the days I'll knock you. And he walked. He said one day in the forest, he looked up and he said, God, why are you doing this to me? He said, that's life in Germany. He said, there's no life. Because we're going nowhere fast. When you think they're partying tonight, they're partying because they're happy another year's gone. Why? But they don't know why. It's not that any better is coming tomorrow, worse is coming for you. You're going to die tomorrow, then you're going to cry again. Then you said, yesterday you partied. You're supposed to be crying today, hey, maybe I'll die tomorrow. Oh my son, I'm 60, I'm going to die. You partying today, I'm 60. Say, mommy, it means you're going to die tomorrow. They don't know why they're partying. They are lost. He said he came out of that forest. He was walking past one room, one shop. It was a bookstore, non-Muslim bookstores. He said he doesn't even read. He doesn't know why he walked in there. He's looking on the shelf. Then he looked at the books that were in a stack. Then he said there was that one English translation of the Holy Quran. He said he pulled it out from there. He asked the guy how much. He said it was £5, whatever, dollars, whatever he paid. He says he doesn't even know why he took it. And he even said that English was not so good also. He said, but he went to his room, now he's looking at it. And he just started reading. And he said, as he's reading, he just can't put it down. He said, whatever answers I wanted, I was getting my answers. As I'm reading. Lost. Then he said, Ghayril Maghdub, Allah, I must not be the one who you're angry with. What a life they got. Well, the Dhalin, and the one who's lost and doesn't even know he's lost. How happy I am, Allah, only don't let me now slip. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. So when we already made it clear that on this path, I don't expect to see the Jew. And I don't expect to see the lost Christian. So me and you now have to start opening our eyes and look who's in front of us. If I find in front of me is the Christian, and that is my role model, that is my path, then it doesn't mean he found the right path, it means I'm on the wrong path. And I need to quickly get off this path. Even if I find a path, one time I was lost, so I was following one car. And he was driving like he knew where he's going. He was following me. How he did that? Like, he was looking in his mirror, seeing someone looks like he knows where he's going. And I'm looking at him. We came to a point, I asked him like, he said, I'm following you. So far I came. If we got the wrong guy on our road, it means I'm on the wrong road. Let us look. Look very well. When a party is on, am I in party? When the world is in this direction going, am I also going? Allah Tabarak Ta'ala gave us a few examples. Ibrahim alayhi salam's whole group went. His father said, "Oh Ibrahim, are you not coming with us?" He said, "Oh my father, inni saqim, that I'm not feeling well. I don't want to come." They left him at home. He went to the place of the idols. He said, "You can talk. They worship you, talk. You can eat, then eat." Everyone was gone. But what he said, "I'm not coming. I want to stay back." Surah Kahf, Allah Tabarak Ta'ala speaks, a group of youngsters, innahum fityatun, they were young. Everyone was going. They just said, "We don't want to go." If you want to be on that group who does not slip, and who Allah grabs even if you are falling, then we have to see in front of us who's there. And if we find that they are there, it means either they got hidayat or I am on the wrong road. So ask him, like, "My friend John, have you become Muhammad?" And if he says, "No, I'm John," then you say, "Then I better get off the spot very fast. Because as so many slipped, I am going nowhere fast. It's one slip and I'm gone." Allah's Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, the hour will not come, Qiyamah will not come, hatta tattariba alayatu nisa'i daws. Imam Bukhari rahimahullah narrates, hatta tattariba alayatu nisa'i daws ala dhil khasla. Dhul Khasla was a very big monument. It was like an idol, but what we call baby idol, not baby idol, big. There's a place called Khatham. Today it's there also, Khatham. So you'll get Jeddah, and then Jeddah going towards Yemen. More closer to Jeddah, but like halfway closer to Jeddah, you'll get Khatham. In Khatham there was this house or this temple, it was called the Temple of Dhul Khasla. It was a very big temple. When Islam spread, and even before that, the people used to come, especially the people of Yemen, because it was closer. Jeddah is still further than Makkah. It was called the Kaaba of the people of Yemen. So like there was like two Kaabas. And as long as it was an idol and this side there was idol, there was no problem. Then Islam came. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam conquered Makkah Mukarramah. The hardest on the Muslims were the people of Daws. Abu Huraira radiallahu anhu was from Daws. Tufail bin Amir Dawsi was from Daws. When one person came, most likely it was him or Abu Huraira radiallahu anhu. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked that, where are you from? He said, Daws. He said, I never thought the people of Daws got any good in them. But you came like. They were very hard. They were so hard, they said, you got your Kaaba, we got our own Kaaba. Yeah. But as long as they both had idols, there was no issue. Islam came. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, now who will give me ease like from the people of that Dhul Khasala? Kaaba is here and they still got that big idol. Jarir bin Abdullah radiallahu anhu was sent. He was sent to go and break it. It was not easy to break because how many warriors stood for it? You will kill our God, we will never allow you. He destroyed it, he burnt it down. He said, whoever stood in front in defense of Allah's Nabi, we brought them to the ground. Many stood in the defense of it. They died for their God. Died for their God. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam got so happy and then he mentioned, but the hour will not come until Dhul Khasla will be put up again. And the woman of those, their behinds will be shaking around Dhul Khasla. Most likely, some explained it means that they'll be dancing. And as they're dancing, you move your body. And sometimes you'll be hitting it. He said, until the behinds of the woman of those don't start shaking around Dhul Khasla, the hour will not come. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, لَتَتَّبِعُنَّ سُنَنَ مَنْ كَانَ قَبْلَكُمْ. You will follow the way of those that were before you. Shibran bi shibrin. Hand to hand, like how the two are hit exact. Arm to arm. He said, حَتَّى سَلَكُوا ضَبَّ جُحْرَ ضَبٍّ. He said, if those Christians or Jews, they had to walk into the small hole of the lizard. The dab is that little big lizard, very ugly. Very ugly lizard. You might not see the hole of the lizard, but if you had gone to a park, you might see the place, the den of the hyena. Hyena's den. Lion still, I think they're a little bit more clean. The hyena's den, he doesn't need to find a den, he goes in the drain. He lives in the drain. This lizard, its hole it's small, number one. But it stinks. It's filthy. It's dirty. You wonder sometimes, oh lizard, do you really like life there? But for the lizard, this is my life. He said, if they walk into the hole of the lizard, he said, there will be you in my ummah who's going to go in that same hole. Explainers of the hadith in recent time wrote, what a miracle of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He wrote an alim, I found that era where we see people are ready to leave their nice houses, and because of drugs they are ready to sleep in the den. They're sleeping in a drain. He's a millionaire. His wife had kicked him out of that lovely house which he gave his life to build. And that night he's sleeping in a drain. He is dirty from beginning till end. While he's sleeping, he hits his friend. After he wakes up, his friend is not waking up. He gives him a few slaps. He's not even his friend. You ask them that who was the one who died next to you? He said, I used to just call him Tom. You know anything about him? No, we just used to sleep the nights together. He hits him. Then he realized Tom is gone. He says, the next day I see the body bag of the police, they're pulling him out. The man says, I get worried. What if I died last night? He says, you're not changing. See, when the night comes again, I need to go back to my home. People went into this den. They went into the drains. When they enter those clubs, they know it's filthy, they know it's dirty. Girls were pure, they went into there, they knew what's happening. He said, there will be those who will follow. There will be Arab women who will be dancing with their behinds touching an idol, despite them knowing the language of Quran. Despite them hearing the word Jahannam, hearing that word Jahannam, knowing that if I die, I'll have to meet an Allah. Knowing the tongue of Quran, a time will come when that Arab woman will go to such an extent. A time will come where there will be those who will go into the drain. And there will be those who will say, I'm not going to do it. You don't have to be an Arab to be saved. You don't have to be an alim to be saved. You need the nazar of Allah to say, I grab you. So I will end on this here. When Allah Tabarak Ta'ala spoke of those boys of Ashab-e Kahf, the people of the cave, Allah Tabarak Ta'ala said, one innahum fityatun. They were just normal youngsters. There were no alim, allama, mufti, qari, darulum, azadwal. They were young boys. Normal boys. Which showed that me and you, we also a boy or a girl. Normal. They were young. What did they do? Allah Tabarak Ta'ala says, وَرَبَطْنَا عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ إِذْ قَامُوا. When they made that stand, when they said, I want to be different, Allah Tabarak Ta'ala said, we did the rest. Then you would know Surah Kahf, you will know what happened. They stood up to the king, they said, we'll go, we'll leave our families, we'll run in the cave. The sun came at their khidmat. Everything happened for them. They became a miracle of generations. But what were they? Allah Tabarak Ta'ala says, they were nothing but youngsters who just stood up and said, we want to be different. On this night, Mubarak to all of you who have come. I want you, after the Isha Salah, when dua is being made, you must say, Allah, the only thing that brought me here is I want to be different. So if that nazar could fall on those boys of the cave just because they said they want to be different, can't it fall on me? And Mubarak, who knows that because of your coming here on a night where everybody else will not come here, Allah Tabarak Ta'ala special nazar will fall and He says, you are the next generation of Ashabul Kahf. You are the people of the cave. And miracles will happen. So you make that dua that Allah, I want to be different. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. That just grab me on the spot. Let me not go off. Allah Tabarak Ta'ala make Mubarak your coming. Those who will be spending the night, Mubarak your night. Those who will be return with this dua and this jazba. That Allah, you are the most shakur. You are the most appreciative. You brought me here, but you still pay. So I want my pay. That I came on a night where everyone forgot you. Because of that day, I know you must pay lot. When the father is not well and all the sons don't land up, COVID took place. No son wanted to go to the hospital. One son went. The father said, you came. You'll die. The boy said, Daddy, if I die for you also, so what? The father will say, all my money I'll give to you. All my money. Father won't do that, but by Almighty Allah, when everyone forgot me, you remembered. Then you make your deal with Allah. You ask Allah for the best way. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Let me never fall. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alamin.